Christian Basics Part 12, Gifts of the Spirit Part 5. In this video I'm talking about the gift of prophecy, and I'm going to have to talk fast for this one. The word translated from the Greek that means prophecy is the word Profetia. It is translated 16 times as prophecy and 3 times as prophesying. In 1 Corinthians 12:10 it talks about this and says, to another the working of miracles, in the last video, to another the gift of prophecy. Prophecy is God speaking through us in another language that he understands for another person to translate for us. It's kind of like speaking in tongues, which I will do a video on in the future, but it is not the same thing. This is talked about in 1 Corinthians 14:22 through 25, where it says, so then tongues are a sign not for the believers, but for unbelievers. Prophecy, however, is not for unbelievers, but for believers. So if the whole church comes together and all speak in tongues, and unbelievers or uninformed people enter, will they not say that we have lost our minds? But if all prophesy, and an unbeliever or an uninformed person enters, he will be convicted by all, he will be called to account by all. The secrets of his heart are disclosed, and in this way he will fall down with his face to the ground and worship God, declaring, God is really among you. I will go into it later, but tongues is for the individual, but prophesying is for the entire church. So when someone prophesies in another language, then someone else will translate that message for the entire church. Speaking in tongues is a prayer language to God, which I will talk about in the next video. And it does not need to be translated because it's spoken directly to God. And that's talked about in 1 Corinthians 14:6, where it says, now, brethren, if I come to you speaking with tongues, what shall I profit you? What good will it do you? Unless I speak to you either by revelation or by knowledge or prophesying or doctrine. And I have seen this several times where in the middle of a service, in a quiet time, someone will prophesy in tongues and then someone else will translate it, and it's always a message to build up the church, to help them out. You also need to pay attention to what the person is saying who translates the message, because if it does not line up with the Bible, that means that they did not translate it right and it's not from God. So I hope that helps explain more about the gift of prophecy. And if you have any questions or comments, put them below, and look forward to more videos coming like this from the Lord's Patriots.